Year one of the Kalen DeBoer era in Tuscaloosa has officially begun. These are three big questions the Crimson Tide need to answer this spring. Hello, everyone. I'm Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell icon as well so you get notifications of when we go live and when we drop new video content, which is each and every single day. Also, guys, check out the podcast, which drops daily on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you get your content. And, of course, guys, stay up to date with the latest from us over at our website, SECUnfiltered.com. The following is brought to you by our friends, guys, over at MYBOOKIE. If you're still on the hunt for a sports book to call home, bet the nonstop action of March Madness with our friends over at MYBOOKIE. Guys, enter bracket contest for a chance to take home prizes of up to $25,000 or pick from a huge selection of straight bets, props, and odds boosts. Whatever your style, MYBOOKIE makes it easy to play your way and get paid. Guys, sign up right now at mybookie.ag and take advantage of their generous welcome offer to score a massive first deposit bonus of up to $1,000. All you have to do, guys, is claim promo code SECU at sign up. So again, that's mybookie.ag, promo code SECU at sign up to take advantage of the welcome offer that's going to get you a massive first deposit bonus of up to $1,000. But guys, the fun doesn't stop there. Get up-to-the-minute odds, free bets, and expert predictions to help you decide who to put your money on. Guys, the best part about MYBOOKIE is this. You can bet on anything, anytime, and from anywhere. Use promo code SECU at mybookie.ag to secure your limited-time welcome bonus today. Again, that's mybookie.ag, promo code SECU. The Crimson Tide have hit the practice field for the first time under new head coach Kalen DeBoer, and these are three big questions that I feel like Alabama needs to answer, or at minimum get closer to answering this spring as the spring game approaches. And of course, we count down the days until toe meets leather and the Kalen DeBoer era officially begins in Tuscaloosa. My first big question is this. Speaking of Kalen DeBoer, what's the new identity under Kalen DeBoer, right? We've seen all the videos and the reactions from fans on social media, right? There's filming going on at practice, and I've seen people saying they're playing music at practice. You've got Kane Womack, the DC, shooting a selfie video in the middle of practice, sending it to a recruit. And every single coach has their way of doing things. I think one of the best signs, if you're an Alabama fan, is this. He's not trying to be. Kalen DeBoer's not trying to be Nick Saban 2.0. He's not trying to run things exactly as Nick Saban did. He's being himself, right? He's being Kalen DeBoer. And the recipe for success for him, right, is to be yourself, not try to be a carbon copy of Nick Saban and try to fill the massive shoes that he left behind. But what's the identity of the football team going to be, right? We knew under Nick Saban what it was. It was discipline. It was smash mouth. It was we're going to hit you in the mouth. We're going to out-physical you at the point of attack, right? Like you had a feeling, and certainly the identity evolved, but it was this no-nonsense, business-like approach. Now it feels like things are a little bit more loosey-goosey, a little bit more fun, a little bit more, I don't want to say lackadaisical, but they're just different, right? And every single coach with their DNA, right, the football team takes on the identity of the head coach. What is this new identity under Kalen DeBoer? What does that look like? And again, we're probably not going to get the answer to this question until the fall when we see it on the field. But this is something you figure out in spring ball, right? While you're instilling the fundamentals, while you're hammering on those things, you're also creating your culture. You're developing your culture, and you're creating that new identity that certainly Kalen DeBoer brings with him in his wealth of success and experience. So, question number one, what's the new identity under new head coach Kalen DeBoer? My second big question, guys, is this. Caleb Downs entering the transfer portal and going to Ohio State certainly was one of the biggest storylines of the college football news cycle over the last couple months. The question is this: who replaces Caleb Downs as the leader of the defense? When you talk about, guys, how special Caleb Downs was and is for Alabama, right? When you talk about how special he was last year, you got to look past just, the athleticism and the tackling and the ball skills and the instincts and what have you. You look at, not only did he do all that, this was a true freshman in the back end of the defense, making calls, making checks, telling veterans where to go. He was truly the leader of the Alabama defense. Now the question is, who steps up? Is there another freshman waiting in the wings, ready to do so? Is there an experienced defensive back returning that may be that guy? Is there somebody else we're not thinking about? Or is it going to be more of there isn't that one guy that stands out and shines? But most of the great defenses, they have that guy. They have that leader. They have that dude that, hey, when you give a big play or something doesn't go your way, they turn to and kind of rally around, right? It's that guy. Who replaces Caleb Downs? Not necessarily from a talent standpoint, because I'm not sure there's many guys out there who can replace a guy like that. But in regards to being a leader on that Crimson Tide defense, who is that guy that steps up and emerges? You find out during spring ball, right? Those questions start to be answered during spring. Guys show themselves, show you who they are, emerge as leaders, and evolve and take over into those roles. Who is that guy for the Bama defense? My third and final question is this, guys. Is Jalen Milroe ready to take the next step in a brand new offense? I mean, guys, we talked about this immediately following the Rose Bowl, where, you look back at the numbers and Bama fans will fight you to the death, right? You look at his numbers and how impressive they were, and that's all fine and dandy, right? You can stuff a stat sheet. That's great. But you talk to folks, guys. The real question was this: can Jalen Milroe lead Bama to a national championship? Is he that caliber of quarterback, or is he a stat sheet stuffer? That's the question. We know he's a great athlete, but when it came to reading defenses, right, being able to go from your first read to your second read to your third, he struggled. Just call it for what it is. He struggled to play the quarterback position. He was a great athlete under center, and he is a great athlete. Now he has to learn a brand new offensive scheme and a brand new offensive system. Granted, it's an offensive scheme that produced Michael Penix Jr. as one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen in college football. But still, brand new terminology. It's all brand new for Jalen Milroe. And make no mistake, he is QB1. Kalen DeBoer has went that far and made that very clear. Spring ball, when you talk about Bama and who is this the most important spring for, I could argue there's no player that this spring is more pivotal for than Jalen Milroe, because there's so much he's processing. There's so much transition there. There's so many different things he has to pick up on, and he needs to take the next step. He was solid last year. He was good. Don't get me wrong. Again, Bama fans will take that stat sheet and shove it down your throat, and that's cool. Was he national championship caliber? Obviously he wasn't. Obviously not. And even as good as he was, there were still head-scratching moments. There were still times that made you think, man, I don't know if this guy is it. I mean, guys, Bama didn't make a quarterback change last year just because they felt like it. There were problems there. Now, there were more problems up front on the offensive line. Let's be very, very fair, okay? So a lot of his success will be dictated by, can you get any sort of blocking up front? But Jalen Milroe as a quarterback, playing the position of quarterback, not just athlete, of quarterback, needs to take the next step. If Alabama, and I know that, we feel like right now odds are stacked against them, right? Because it's the unknown with Nick Saban retiring and a new era, and they lost some guys. But Make no mistake, Alabama can win a national championship. They have a talented enough roster, guys. Don't tell me they don't. They do. They cannot win a national championship unless Jalen Milroe takes the next step. Unless Jalen Milroe is able to pick up on Kalen DeBoer's offense, process it, grasp it, and thrive in it. And take that next step as being the field general, the master of his domain, and go from just being a great athlete on the field to being a great all-around quarterback. So again, the three big questions the Crimson Tide need to answer this spring. Number one, what's the new identity under Kalen DeBoer? Number two, who replaces Caleb Downs as the leader of the defense? And number three, is Jalen Milroe ready to take the next step in a new offense? Guys, that's going to do it all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Again, guys, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell icon as well so you get notifications of when we go live and when we drop new video content, which is each and every single day. Also, guys, check out the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you get your content. And, of course, guys, check out our website, SECUnfiltered.com, for all the latest from us. Until next time, guys, I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in, and we'll catch you on the other side.